Hey everybody, what's up? This is DJ Full House of Palatial Crest. I'm here showing off the Animoog app for iPhone and iPod Touch, and better yet, how to play this app with your MIDI controller via a Wi-Fi ad hoc network with your computer. So, first thing you need to do is, of course, buy the app. For a limited time, it's 99 cents, so it's just a no-brainer that you should just get it, because it's going to jump up to 10 bucks and it's an insanely amazing app. I highly, highly recommend it. If you want to play with sounds, do it. First thing, on your computer, you want to go into your Wi-Fi settings. Once you find your Wi-Fi settings, click on it, and you want to create a network. Go ahead and name your network whatever you want, and for now, just make sure that you don't put a password in. It just makes it a little bit easier. So, there you go. There's that. Once that's done, it's going to make your computer available as an ad hoc network, which means you don't have access to the internet, which is why there's a symbol of a computer right there. On your whatever you have, go ahead, open it up, and go into the settings. So here we go, settings. Now, first thing is you want to make sure that your phone or your whatever is on airplane mode. Next thing is you go to Wi-Fi and you turn it on while in airplane mode. The reason to do this is because it connects easier with the ad hoc network instead of just trying to do it. Oops, right off the bat. So there's my computer named network, which is actually the name of my computer, so that solves a lot of problems. So this is going to take just a minute to populate up here. But once it does, then I'll be all set. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it take its time to show you how long it takes, which is usually about 10 or 12 seconds. So there it is. Now, you want to go ahead and launch the app. So there it is. And it's green goodness. Animoogs. Yes, Animoog it up. Okay, good. So you're pretty much done with that for now. So go back to your computer. So you now have an ad hoc network between your computer and your something. Next, you want to go into your audio MIDI settings. I use the Spotlight because it's super simple. So there it is, audio MIDI setup. Once this opens up, sometimes you might have one window or you might have two. But typically, I think this one shows up, audio devices. So you want to find your MIDI studio window, and you can find that by clicking window, or you can just click on it because mine's right here in the background. Next, click on network. Now here you can see a couple things. My sessions, session 1, that's perfect. You can leave it just like that. You can rename it if you really want to, but there's no need, really. Down here, because my computer and my phone are on the same network, my phone shows up. So there's the name of my phone. All I have to do is click connect. And if you're worried about people jumping onto your network, you can change your privacy settings there, but just leave it open for now to anyone. So when you click connect, there's my phone. Another important thing is the bonjour name right there. Sorry, bonjour for all of our French friends out there. That was terrible. I apologize. So it needs to be Sunmi, which is my name. It's my computer's name. It's right there, just in case I forget. So it's right there. Whatever your computer's name is, you need to put that name right there. It'll just help connect with it better. So don't close this. Go ahead and hide it because you don't need to look at it anymore. Next, go into Ableton Live or whatever you use for making music, but I'm going to show you how to do this with Ableton Live. So you need to make sure that the MIDI settings are going to be communicating with that network session that you've made down here in the audio MIDI setup. So what you need to do is go into your settings, your preferences, excuse me. So you can click Command, comma, or yeah, Command, comma, go for it. And then you want to find MIDI sync. Once you find MIDI sync, you're going to see this new MIDI input, which is network and in parentheses session 1. That's what you just made. So for the input, don't do anything. You don't need to send information into the input. It's not going to help you. But on the other hand, make sure that for the output you have everything on: track, sync, and remote. Okay? So to be honest, the remote thing's not going to help so much right now because you can't MIDI map anything within the Animoog app. But hopefully Moog wises up and they realize that if we're able to MIDI map CC changes, like control changes, to the app from our MIDI devices, that would be insane because you could do way more. But we'll just leave them all on for now in hopes that they're going to change that. So now that that's set up, I'm going to create a MIDI track in Ableton Live. So here it is, and I'm going to use my keyboard to send MIDI information. Well, actually it's routed into my sound card, which is fine. So now I want to create an external instrument, which is going to be the Animoog. So I want to send my MIDI to not where you're playing from, but you want to send it to the network, in parentheses, whatever you named it. And if it's session 1, good for you. You're just like me. So your audio needs to come from the iPhone. Now I have mine set up already. I have a stereo 1/4 inch jack that's in here. So this is going loop-de-loop around all this mess of cables right there in. So I'm set. It might not be the same for you. And you can even get away with having just one of these guys, like an adapter. I mean, it works. It's not bad or anything, but I experimented with both the stereo and the mono, and there is a difference with the stereo. It sounds a bit more rich, especially when you have the orbiting that's happening with the app. It sounds a lot better with stereo. So if you can, stick with the stereo connection, and if not, you can get by with mono. So now that this is set up, I'm going to test to make sure that it's going to send audio. So it's sending audio, which is a great thing. It should be doing that. So there it is. And now you can see that I'm getting audio sent to my sound card, which is a really good thing. Now here's the fun test. Here we go. Ready? Let's see. There it is. So essentially, I am sending MIDI information via Wi-Fi from my computer to the I something. And it's playing it. It's pretty awesome, actually. So there are, I need to mention a couple of cool things about this. So because in your MIDI settings you synced it, and you have the app is being synced to Ableton, you can actually control the BPM with Ableton. So right now I'm going to change the tempo in Ableton. Let's say I want to have a faster song. So I want to make it up to 150. So check this out. I'm going to press enter and watch what happens here. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's part of it too. I think you have to press play. There it goes. Oh man, you kidding me? Okay, so there it says BPM 150. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. So I'm gonna make this drop down to 80, so it'll take a longer time, but it's pretty cool. So I press enter while it's playing, and then you're gonna see the tempo drop, the BPM drop within the app, and it's gonna take a little bit to settle down to 80. So that's pretty awesome that it syncs tempo-wise, because you have so many of these sync options with orbiting and with the path and all that stuff. So you can actually sync that up with the tempo of your computer. So you can actually click in with this and record like pretty accurately. So the downer, the unfortunate truth about this awesome, awesome app is when you play and you're playing around and you really enjoy what you're doing and how it looks and everything, you're getting really tripped out and stuff, it is responsive to the velocity at which you play. your MIDI controller. Trying to play as soft as I can and louder now. You can hear that it's a bit brighter compared to the bummer. The big bummer for me is that you miss out on the poly pressure. For instance, it has a bit more. Kind of acts like an aftertouch. You don't have any of that with your keyboard, and this does have aftertouch, so I'm not crazy. You could, of course, change this when you click or when you touch page and you find env/mod. It's your envelope and your modifier or your. Oh man, I really should know what that means, but I don't, so I'm just going to skip over that. But in here you have all your mods 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you see here poly pressure changes the filter frequency. So when I give it more pressure, meaning I drag my finger up and down, it changes the filter's frequency just a little bit, which is awesome. And of course you can do that with velocity. Oops. So there's velocity right there, but it means you'd have to change a lot of stuff just to have it be for one note. I mean, that's the best part about this app, is that you can really have things develop. Oops, I changed it. Sorry, poly pressure. So you can really develop the sound of a synth as it goes. Which I really like. Unfortunately, you can't do that right now with an aftertouch MIDI deal. So that's kind of a bummer. So I'm going to bring it back up. I'm going to end with an upper because, let's see. There was one that I made in here. I can't remember what I called it. Let me see. It was something. Oh, I'll just use the one that I liked in here. It was soft and brassy. I really like this one for some reason. It's just really a cool, like, nice droney sound. So the cool part is because you're using Ableton and you're working with MIDI, you can go back into Live Devices and go into MIDI effects. Click on MIDI effects and you can use pretty much all of these. So ones that I have a lot of fun with are the arpeggiator. So you just drop that in there and you can just, I don't know, just play around with it. I mean, so it's sending it in a 16th bit or 16th beat rate. So the cool part too is that when I press on my key, on my keyboard, there's A2. It's showing the note being pressed. Now, you have to keep in mind, because it's a Wi-Fi ad hoc network, it's not like plugging in with an Alesis or like an iRig MIDI dock. So because it's going over Wi-Fi, I mean, if you're going at a rate that's pretty slim, like what is this? 1/96, 1/28. So you're missing out on a lot of those notes because it can't, via Wi-Fi, it can't transmit those notes as fast. You can kind of hear it, but it's dropping out. You hear it? I mean, it might give you some really cool effects if that's what you desire. Another thing that's really fun to do that I was playing with is chord, and just building a fourth, on a fourth. So what that would be 5 steps. This would be well, I want to have that be normal, but then 5 steps up and then 10 steps. So you have 2 fourths on top of each other. So it's a really nice, really good, rich sound. So it's there's the key being highlighted. So you have the power of arpeggiator and chord working for you, and I'm sure you could do a lot more if you got creative with it. But for now, it's just the things that I've come upon. So yeah, I hope you dig it. If you have any questions, I can try to help you. But yeah, enjoy, and thanks for watching. All right, peace.